Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Tier 8 Mercenary Premium Heavy Tank, the Rhino. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yeah, the Rhino, what is it? Well, it's a Tiger II hull with the Carnarvon Action 10 turret and the Defender 122mm gun, or the same gun that you get on the Defender and the Hydra. It's got 225 penetration on its standard AP round, with 265 pen on its APCR round. It's got 440 damage, which is a big slapping gun. It's lovely to hit with, if it hits. It's got pretty good base view range at 380, which is pretty standard for a tier 8 heavy tank, realistically. It's got 38 km/h top speed, which means you do hit that top speed as well, by the way, which is pretty good for the tank. You've got a 0.44 base accuracy, which is where I say when it hits, because the gun is a bit derpy, and it does like to miss at times. So 0.44 base accuracy is pretty poor, but it's not as bad as the Defender's 0.47. It's got 3.4 second aim time, again, which is a little bit long. So when you set up for this tank, you really want to help out the gun handling as much as possible. But it does have very good accuracy on the move and during rotation with this tank. So accuracy during rotation is 1.05 with the setup I've got, and 1.72 during movement, with the setup that I've got, which is actually really not bad for this kind of tank, which means that the gun doesn't really bloom out that much. So again, while 3.4 second aim time is really not that great, you'll see in here in this replay so far that you can get more snappy shots out quite easily with this tank, and it's pretty damn nice for that. As well as that, for this sort of gun, which is fairly unusual because obviously it's a Soviet gun, it's got 8 degrees of gun depression, which means you can really work a ridgeline with this tank, which is what you're seeing here on Grim Graveyard, because this game was played during the Halloween area, so that's when Grim Graveyard was in the rotation. And yeah, you can see that here. You can use 8 degrees of gun depression. Sure, you're a Tiger II, right? You're a bit of a tall tank, but you can still use the 8 degrees of gun depression to your advantage. You have a pretty decent turret. You have a hard-hitting gun. You have good good hull armor, in the fact that the Tiger II hull armor is pretty damn nice. And then, yeah, your reload's 10.5 seconds with the setup I've got as well, which is really quite decent for 440 alpha at tier 8. It's just a really good all-round heavy tank. I really do enjoy this as a heavy tank. It is a very good tank, and you can have some pretty good fun games with it. When you're top tier, you'll have a lot of fun with it. And even when you're bottom tier, because you've got that 225 pen on your standard round, against tier 10s, that's not that great, but you can just load the 265 APCR pen. And that is enough to go through everything you're going to face. And because you've got the 440 alpha, you've got the ability to trade. And your armor doesn't mean as much, obviously, in a bottom tier matchup, but you've still got enough that you can ricochet shots. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the old Rhino? Well, on the Rhino, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim because the turret traverse on this tank is pretty quick already, but I just want to make it so that I could get it snapped in on target a little bit quicker. The 3 gun perks, because I want to make sure this gun is as good as possible, because you've just heard me tell you how bad the base statistics are for this tank's gun, so you want to help it out as much as you humanly can do. And the other perks are basically everything you're going to take in World War II. Now, obviously, with Rapid Aim, I do it so I can get the gun snapped in really as quickly as possible, as you're seeing. So when something gets spotted, I can go snap, and I'm ready to go pretty quickly. But because your track traverse on this tank is not the best, because your track traverse with the setup that I've got is only 24 degrees a second, which is a little bit slow, so you could want to run the clutch braking instead, so that you could get the track traverse up to about 26 degrees a second. I mean, it's only 2 degrees a second because it's percentage based, but every little helps because it does traverse a little bit slowly. And then in terms of equipment on this tank, I do run the advanced loader, the gun stabilizer, and optics. Optics to be able to get my view range up to 486 meters view range, so I can do gun spotting on maps like this, for example. The gun stabilizer, so that I can make the gun as good as possible, like you've already heard me say. And the advanced loader to make the DPM 10% better. So this first game, we've managed to get 4.7k damage so far with 1364 assistance. We know where the last 3 tanks left on the enemy team are. There's this VK101P, this medium tank now, which is the T-34-3 Black. Unfortunately, we just showed the derpy gun handling there. Going for the shot on the VK because it just whiffed over his turret. Go for the shot into his lower plate though and put that in for 479. Just waiting on the reload, hopefully get another shot in before he dies because our whole team is here going, mine, 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 mine. And we do manage to shut him down. We finish the game with 4 kills. That 5.2k damage, 1364 resistance, the epic victory, top of the team, which made a decent amount of credits as well, 188,000. The Confederate, the high caliber, the first class for 2015 base XP. Not normally a first class 2015 base XP. Once you get above 2k base XP, you can usually expect to see an ace tanker, but unless it's a tank that's been played exceptionally well, which, to be fair, this is one of those tanks. And that was actually a game that I played on the first day of it as well, to be fair, which means that the ace tanker base requirements were actually at the highest level that it can be for a tier 8 heavy tank at the time. Because if you don't know, when they released a tank, since... Actually, I think it's since the release just after the Tyrann, what they did is they changed it so that it set the hardest requirements for both the Marks of Excellence and for the base XP requirements for an ace. The hardest requirements that are currently on the live server data at tier 8 as a tier 8 heavy tank. So whatever the hardest tier 8 heavy tank is to mark at the minute and the hardest tier 8 heavy tank to aces, that's what the requirements are set at. It used to be that they just had their own predetermined requirement until the live server data hit from the tank being played enough by people. But that, yeah, like I said, that changed. And so when you get the tank first day, it's definitely a lot harder to ace it on the first day, and it's exceptionally harder to 3-mark it if you wanted to do a first day 3-mark, which, fair play to you if you have the patience to do that. And I think that was a better change, to be fair, especially for the Marks of Excellence, because like stuff like the Tyrann, where people were marking it in the first day doing 6k combined, these days you would never get anywhere near that. But anyway, I digress. The Rhino. We're on this map, on Fisherman's Bay, and we've taken this position here at E6. And by taking this position here at E6, we are getting some lovely shots down range, and this gun is behaving itself. The shots are flying true. That was a cupola shot on a Minotaur. With 225 pen, it flew straight in. Straight in again. Beautiful scenes. When the gun works, oh, the gun sings. We're up to 2,093 damage so far. I want to push forward now because I don't feel like there's much else down on that left-hand side because the Minotaur felt like he was one of the only ones down there. So we're now going to attack these heavy tanks like the Tiger II that are in front of us. We get a shot into the AC4 Experimental, putting him down to a one-shot. Then we get hit by the 50 TP prototype, who is still alive. I was like, oh, I thought you died, sir. Okay, sure, you're still alive. I'm just going to ignore you now while I kill your friends. So we get a shot in to shut down the little tier 6 medium tank. The HWK-12 comes in. We spot the artillery, which would be glorious to get rid of. Get rid of that M44. That would be great. We get one shot into him. I'm thinking, come on, people. Come on. Come on. Get rid of the piggy. The M50... Not the M50. The 50 TP prototype pops out from on that side again, shoots. I think it's Turkey that's with me on this ridge. And we're just watching to see if we can get the kill. Because he's been a pest right now, and it'd be great to kill it. The HWK-12 pulls out, tracks us in place. We get a lovely free aim shot into that guy to knock his HP down a little bit. That 50 TP prototype is still being irritating. We're still getting pummeled by the M44, who just needs to die. We get another shot straight through the side of the Tiger II, who I don't know what... I don't know what that Tiger II's doing. He could have come after us, but that was an interesting decision. We get a shot through the side of that Tiger II, and he's attacked the heavy tank, and Turkey shuts down the Tiger II with this Senjutsu there. We get a shot through the side of this UDES 1405, and sadly we low roll, so we don't quite get a chance to kill it. The HWK-12 decides that ramming me is a good idea. Okay, sir. So we get some free damage there on that. I didn't even realise he was coming. I was just trying to focus on the UDES. There's a chance to kill this VK-3001P, which we do. Boosting our reload and our view range with food, because I'm pretty sure that most of the rest of the stuff is in that corner at JK2. We spot the KV-3, get a shot straight through the side of his turret. We're up to 5.8k damage so far. Can we get the kill on this KV-3? Just waiting for the reload. He's going to be a little bit of an awkward customer. If we get the shot into his cupola, we go for it and we miss. And of course, we could have had better shots at the T-78 and the T-20 if we'd just waited, because that's sod's law. Waiting for the reload now. The T-78 has pulled up, and he just pulls forward out of the way of the shot. So we end up not getting that penetration on that tier 6 American tank destroyer. But now we're going to use the decent mobility of the Rhino to move up, get closer to the action, see if we can get ourselves into another position to try and get a shot at this T-20 or the T-78. Unfortunately, the gun derps, so we don't quite hit the shot on those guys. The T-78's driven out, but we can't quite see the shot on him. But we're going to now go and chase it after the Borask and the T-77. We snap the shot towards the T-77. It flies through and kills him. We're up to 6,079 damage. The Borask is patrolling along the beeline. He is going for our artillery. So hopefully we can get a few shots into him while he's trying to do the Lord's work. And oh, that is a beautiful shot. It hits the Borask, traps him in place. No one, well, he finally gets hit. Just waiting on the reload. Can we get the shot in before he drops into the dip? We do. It tracks him in place again. Maybe he's going to get shut down this time by everyone. All the shots whizzing over his head. And he finally gets shut down. And we finish the game with a really great total for a tier 8 heavy tank. In any sort of matchup, we finish with the epic victory. 3 kills, 6.9 thousand damage, 269 assistance. That was a lot of credits. The first class, the Brothers in Arms, the Confederate, the High Caliber. 2,100 base XP, again a first class. But that's also probably because this tank is very, very good. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success.